What's up guys, Stark here. In today's character spotlight we are taking a look at Hassan of the Cursed Arm. So he's going to be a 2-star servant here, and his pictures are on the screen right now for you guys to see, and he's got some pretty awesome artwork in my opinion. He actually has like a progression of like evolutions from the first one to the fourth one. It actually looks pretty cool. It's not just him losing clothes or gaining clothes, he's actually like transforming. So yeah, it's pretty cool. As for his stats, he is an assassin, so he will be effective against riders and weak to casters. And like I said, he is a 2-star, so he goes up to level 65. And his stats at 65 are is going to have 6,280 attack, and he will have 7,594 HP. And then if you grail him out, he has 11,100 attack and 12,960 HP. Pretty good stats. I don't know if I necessarily recommend grailing this character out though, but he's pretty solid. He's very solid. He's like a monster in crit teams, which is really cool. He's definitely, I think a lot of people are telling me he's better than Kojiro at actually getting crit damage and crit stars and things like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at his skills and see what he has in store for us. His first skill is going to be called Throw Dagger B, which will gain critical stars, and that gives you 3 stars at level 1 and 12 stars at level 10 on a 6-turn cooldown. So that's pretty nice. I definitely want to keep recycling those stars as quickly as possible. His second skill is going to be called Self-Modification C, which will increase critical strength for 3 turns. It's a 20% increase at level 1 and a 50% increase at level 10. So again, we're dealing with crits. It's basically like Kojiro here, where each one of his skills does a different crit setup. So his final skill is going to be called Protection from the Wind, or Protection from Wind A, which applies Evade for 3 times and increase critical star drop rates for 3 turns. And this will be a 10% at level 1 and a 30% chance at level 10. Well, not a 30% chance, but a 30% increase. So yeah, he's got a pretty solid skill set. Definitely built for crits, and he does have that evasion as well, which is always nice. And then his passive skill here also plays into the crits as well, with Presence Concealment A+, which increases critical star drop rate by 10.5%. So, you know, you can add that on top of his other skills to keep gaining those critical stars and doing some nice crit damage. So moving on here to his Ascension materials, you're going to need some bones, some gears, and some homunculus babies to max this guy out. It's not a whole lot, you only need a couple of each, so it shouldn't be too difficult to max this character out. I actually do have a max ascended friend I will be using while I'm playing through this to show him off. He's not actually a friend. I don't have the Noble Phantasm unlocked, so I'd have to use mine for that. But yeah, moving on to his skill enhancements, he does need some more gears, some bones, some homunculus babies, but then he also needs the lanterns as well. So this guy is going to be a little bit challenging to fully skill up. But once these items become available, it shouldn't be as difficult to max this character out. So moving on to his craft essence, it will unlock the Shaitan's Arm, which when equipped will increase death rate of all allies by 20% while in the field. And this is really nice because obviously death is an instant kill, and the higher your death rate, the better your odds of landing death are, and his Noble Phantasm does play into this as well, so you could use this on like a mono assassin team or just a death team in general and just kind of nuke the enemies one by one. It's always a nice strategy when you can just one-shot the boss regardless of HP or stats. So moving on here to his command cards, he has 3 quick, 1 arts, 1 buster. So yeah, again, you know, crits, quick teams, it's pretty standard, pretty obvious here what you want to use them on. And then his Noble Phantasm is also quick, which will deal significant damage to a single enemy, and on the overcharge it will have a high chance to inflict death. So it'll be 80% at level 1 and 120% at level 5 for the death chance. So that's pretty good. You're gonna probably get it off really frequently, especially if they don't have like death resistance or anything like that. And if not, you're gonna do a ton of damage to them, so maybe you might end up killing them anyway with the pure amount of damage you're gonna do. So now let's talk about some of the craft essences you can use on this guy. Kaleidoscope is pretty solid just to get your Noble Phantasm ready, especially if you're planning on using like a death setup where you just nuke the enemy team. But you don't have to do that. You could use the quick gains like Grander for the 15% increase, or Imaginary Round for the 25% increase. Or again, you could use the craft essences for crits like Be Elegant and the Gem Mage craft. They're basically the same ones you're going to use on that you would have used on Kojiro. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up this video here. I know it's kind of a fast one. I kind of just blitzed right through it. But yeah, he's basically the same as Kojiro, really. Just a little bit different in his skills and his stats and his like Noble Phantasm and things like that. But yeah, he's pretty nice. Definitely recommend leveling him up if you have him, but just make sure you don't use the gears on him if you need him for someone more important. So I'm going to leave you guys here with Hassan's Noble Phantasm, and I will see you guys tomorrow.